Look, they call him Coach Loggins. Born and raised, he from Chi-Town. Spreading love to the East Coast, it's a rap now. The game's over, it's winning season, I should've told you. Coach Loggins, the winning team, it's the takeover.
Hey guys, Coach Loggins, 128, all the way up podcast coming back to you. There's been a lot going on, so I had to give everybody a break, including myself. But anyways, I haven't been gone very far. But welcome back to the podcast. And you know what? I'm going to bring everybody real quick up to speed. But real quick, once again, Coach Loggins 128, the All the Way Up podcast, purpose for the podcast, and why we are here. I'm just reminding you guys, some of you might not have seen it, what's going on is I try to help motivate, mentor, put people in the right mindset, and have the right mentality to be successful in the future by using strategies and techniques that I have learned, that I have used, that have worked, and I have seen used and worked with proven track record and results. This isn't just made up and I think this works and it works. So real quickly, I want to bring everybody up to speed. So if you watch my podcast, the last, 12 or 13 shows, I kind of talked about where I came from, what I did, from Chicago, in the car business, family, kids. I explained everything, but real quickly, I'm going to talk about our business practices today, and we're going to have a little bit of a story time kind of about some things that I've done and why I'm where I'm at today and what got me where I'm at. Well, a lot of things I talked about is what got me where I'm at. And we're fast forwarding this now to where I started a car business as a salesperson. Well, got out of school, didn't go to college, got into truck tires and car tires, right? Got in the car business, started selling cars, advanced very fast into management, moved up the chain into management, moved from salesperson to finance manager to finance director to GSM to general manager, then a platform vice president over multiple stores, then in the future, ending up here in the East Coast, which is where I'm at currently today. So I'm just really going to explain when I went through the transition of growing in my business and growing my future. One of the biggest things was you gotta have a pair. You gotta have it in here to understand that you're going to rely on your people, your family that supports you. You have to have your support windows. You got to have your plan of attack, and you got to have, in case it fails, what am I going to do? And you got to have that plan too. So you got to have the plan if it fails, the plan if it works, the plan if it does great. You got to have all those plans put out. But one thing that I did is I moved up in these companies, and I was local before I moved my first time. I was a finance director for years and left to become a GM, which was my first move. I went about 50 minutes to an hour away to become a GM of a store in the middle of nowhere. And I had to trust in myself and trust in my family that everybody was going to support, and people weren't, and everybody did a great job and supported. And the biggest thing is I follow a process, therefore I can sell, therefore I can trust myself, therefore I know that I will succeed with the right people if that is done. That's the bottom line. Are you going to succeed with the plan that you're doing? Does it work? Is it proven to work? Are you just guessing that it's going to work? Because there's people that go out there and do stuff and they fail over and over, businesses that have started. So when I did that move, that was kind of a big move, but I only moved an hour away, right? That's not, you're still by home. You drive an hour, you're by your family. Same difference, right? Well, after this, I decided to bite off a little more of the sandwich than I could eat. And I grabbed a bunch of stores, right? Went from having one store then to having two. And then I grabbed 7 stores. But now this move was 2 states away and was far away from family. Car 6 hours, plane hour, far away from family. Not knowing where you're going, not knowing what you're doing, not knowing what you're getting into, not knowing any of this, right? Took a chance on me and my family again, understanding that they were going to make it through and I was going to make it through and I was going to be strong enough, because in the position that I was in, folks, at this point was I'm steering the company. If I fail, they fail. If they fail, I fail. There's no other way but try to lead people to win. And this is what I'm trying to teach you. So I'm taking these formulas that I've used to go from business to business. Now I got multiple dealerships. I'm very successful at this point, right? I have stores. I actually have it to a point. I don't want to say it was running like a well-oiled machine. It was running like a well-oiled machine. My employees love working for me. They love coming to work when I see them. We smiled, we had fun, we high-fived, we laughed, we cried together. They got in trouble together. And we made sure to take care of business. But we always had our goals. We had the right mindset. And I drew the right mindset. And there was people there that thought, you know what? Someday when the boss is gone or when Dan's gone, it'll be great because he won't hold us accountable, but it'll be bad because we won't be as good as we are. And these people used to tell me this. I've talked to these people till this day. So now I decided to take my successes and climb these businesses from a failing situation to a successful situation inside of just shy of 5 years. And now I'm like, okay, I want more. So the whole part of this is obviously I wanted more because I started as a salesperson, went to manager, went to finance manager. I wanted more. How did I get more? Let's start there. Did I ask for it? Kind of. But the biggest thing that I did is I made sure nobody will outwork me. I'll leave no stone unturned. My boss didn't have to tell me the same thing twice. And I had a process. You have to have a process. It doesn't matter what you do. You have to have a process. You can't just get up and just randomly do things. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't ever work that way. So now everything's good. I go home. I tell the family, that I want to embark on something new, right? This gets into trusting the family and all that. They're like, oh man, there's an opportunity. And I literally had multiple opportunities to do other things, to run multiple stores and regions for companies. I had opportunities to be a COO of a 10-store group. I could have stayed where I was at and got more money. I mean, I had multiple opportunities, but I said, you know what? Forget this. I got people calling me, knocking at my door. I want to buy my own stuff at this point. You know what? I'm just going to take off. And I'm going to give a notice to my supervisor and give him as much time as he needs, if it may be 30 days or whatever. Well, I'm here to tell you that I took that time and I resigned and I stayed with the company about 35 days to help them as much as I could and left on great terms with them. They've had a lot of struggles since I left, and there's a lot of people that will be watching this or seeing this that were a part of that. Failure, struggles, and wins when I was there and when I wasn't there. And they can attest to this. They've seen it. This is not just me saying it. But remember the reason for this. Proven track record. I have with my people. Proven formulas to execute a strategy that works. Proven to not leave you behind. So this is the stuff that I want to help you. I want to advance you guys into the current state of being where you need to be today. Not driving a car looking in the rearview mirror, driving a car looking straight in front of you. Remember that you have to look in front of you and you have to keep your eyes open at all times on a swivel and always know what's going on. So I trusted myself to what? Slide forward, take this adventure. I took the summer off. First time in years, I took the summer off, enjoyed myself. Seeked out opportunities, jumped on airplanes, flew to different states, talked to people, talked about buying, talked about this, talked about that, went all these different directions. And this one thing kept calling me, and it was, buy into a dealership, get into a dealership. Well, folks, I've taken dealerships from failing to winning. And not only in one state, in multiple states. And I've created a culture of people that love to be around. But the biggest thing that you got to learn from this is you got to always trust yourself. B, you got to have the right mindset. And C, if you have something that you can do well, you have to do it. And you also have to have a soundboard of people to help guide you through this. Most people cannot do it on their own. Some people might feel like they're doing it on their own, but most people can't do it on their own. So they either have, I like to say it as my queen. You have a spouse, significant other. You might have a child, maybe a mother, maybe a sister. I don't know. But you got to have some type of soundboard because you're not going to be able to do it yourself. I'm not saying you have to listen to their what they should and shouldn't do, but it's always good to have somebody to talk to because they're going to have another perspective of what's going on. But they're also going to be the one that's going to help you through it, right? Understand that when you think you can't do it, and every time that I sat there and I would come in and I would struggle in the very beginning of taking something that was failing to make it great, I would basically not physically hit my knees, but in my head I'd hit my knees and be like, oh my goodness, what have I done? What have I done? Why am I here? Why am I racking my freaking brain over this? What is all this shit? People go through this, and 90% of you will give up at this point. That's where most people say, I can't do it. It's not for me. The Olympics are not for me. The fucking marathon's not for me. Excuse me, I don't ever swear my podcast. Apologize for that. But it's not for me, right? It's not for me. I'm passionate about this. The people that say it's not for me but want to do it and end up saying it's not for me and quit and never do it can never go back. That is permanent. Quitting is permanent. Failure is temporary. That's where that happens. So if you understand where the rubber meets the road on this deal, the whole moral of the story is don't give up. And I knew that when I woke up in the next day, it was going to be what? It was going to be a new day. Brand new day. And I get up, I don't care what happened yesterday, and I'm going to face the world holding the championship. And it's not if, it's when. And if it's not today, it'll be tomorrow. And I promise you on that deal, and I promise people this that have been with me, have watched these stores come from 40 and 60 and 80 cars to losing to soaring to be the top. And there's one common ground with this. It's people. It's trusting a process with your people, having a common direction, having a common ground, having good morals, having good ethics, family involved, friends involved, and actually people involved. I used to believe it was work, 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 and take care of your family on your off time. Now I'm understanding that the both even balance creates for a more successful person and a more successful family. And you can't do it always on your own. And as we round the corner today, folks, I want to thank you so much again for tuning into this. You know what? Some of you might like it, and I've said this before, and some of you might not. If somebody gets one thing from this, mindset, mentality, motivate, goal set, every day's a new day. Remember that every day's a new day, and don't forget it. You can't have a new day if you still got your old day. Stop. Wash that shit off of you. Get it off of you and start over. Shake your head off. Spray water in your face. Get out there. It's a new day. Everybody loves you. You love everybody. That's where we're at. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Follow, like, please subscribe. Coach Loggins 128 on Instagram. Follow me, Felix Loggins on Facebook. They're all connected. And then on YouTube. This has been the All the Way Up podcast. Thank you, guys. Coach Loggins out.